had jumped into their landing spots on the threes that they took, and they had come down on somebody's shoe, on somebody's sneaker, right? And what if they had badly turned, or God forbid, knock on wood, broken their ankle?
Yeah.
You know, what would the Golden State Warriors be saying right now about landing spots, right?
They'd be complaining.
Okay, they would be complaining. So 6 times, including the last time, and the more I look at the Draymond play, I know he's going sideways, and the NBA defended it as a good non-call, but the Draymond play is a foul. He body checks him. He hip checks, butt checks James Harden, and I know James was so frustrated, he jackknifed a little bit trying to exaggerate to get the call, but it's still a foul. By any definition of the new rule, it's just a foul. He got knocked off his landing spot, and by then he had been played so physically, he had been roughed up and knocked around so much that he was losing his touch and feel, because that's what he operates in, that comfort zone. And I give you that the refs gave him all those calls through the year. Well, you can't not give him now.
Exactly. So, that's my argument.
Now we get to your favorite, the last 2-minute report. And again, this was painfully transparent to me. And again, it does no good except to rub salt in the wound.
Exactly.
Okay, because you're not going to go back and reverse the score, obviously. But in this case, obviously, Steph knocks James Harden out of bounds. That's with, what, 109 left? Yeah, 109 left. Steph Curry, and I guess because he's the baby-faced assassin, he gets away with some of these things, but he's like a fouling demon. He just knocks James out of bounds. And he points down to the line. He stepped out of bounds. Yeah, because you knocked him. You bumped him out of bounds. Okay, so that should have been foul number 6, disqualification for one Steph Curry. So then he comes down with, what, 24 seconds left, 26 seconds left? Yeah, 26 seconds. And he makes the 3, and I said, well, that's one of the first big shots I've ever seen Steph make in the postseason. Well, it should have been nullified by the fact he shouldn't have been in the game. And then we get to that final flurry of collisions over on the sideline, and what did Steph Curry do? He goes in, this is the 3 he made, and then we get to the final flurry when, obviously, I thought James got fouled, but it's a miss. Chris gets the rebound. Chris Paul gets the rebound, dribbles around, runs into Clay. There's all this chaos. But what you didn't see, what my eyes didn't find in that sequence is Steph's over there just tackles Eric Gordon. Just tackled him. Because obviously Chris was trying to get the ball to Eric Gordon. So Steph just says, okay, I'll just tackle him. And then he's pointing at the sideline. And I believe Chris lost it over that more than what happened to Chris himself. Okay, so there's another one. That should have been the 7th foul on Steph Curry, uncalled, and the NBA admitted that one. Well, how would that leave the Rockets? What if you're a Houston Rocket right now?
You'd be very disappointed.
Well, you're just saying, my God, no matter, again, the obvious strategy, motivation tonight is to say, let's play so well, let's shoot it so great that we overcome even the referees. Let's beat Golden State and the referees tonight. But when you look at Game 7 and Game 1, at some point you just throw up your hands and say, maybe this isn't meant to be. Maybe they just don't want us to advance.
Well, I think the thing is, Skip, you and I both can agree. There have been a lot of focus on the officiating the last 2 days. I can't recall in my time of watching the NBA when the officiating has been so heavily criticized in Game 1. That's normally a build-up. You get to Game 4 or 5, we got a tie series, somebody's trying to go up 3-2, and you want to plant that seed. Hell, they're trying to plant the seed in Game 1, after Game 1, so moving forward. Skip, look, I don't know whether or not these officials read the newspaper. I don't even know if they watch television to see the criticism that's been going back and forth.
I'm going to guess yes.
But I tell you what they do watch. They watch that game tape. And they're going to go back and watch. And they're going to say, you know what? We missed that one. We missed that one. We missed that one. And I believe the Rockets will get some calls. Now, but don't fall into the trap. The first time you think you get a foul, and you don't get it called, don't go irate, don't go belligerent. Just play on. And people are like, well, James Harden shot 14 free throws on Sunday. Yeah, but I've seen games where he shot 24 because they believe that he got fouled that many times.
And by the way, the reason this sticks in my craw for so long is because James Harden shot a career-high 88% from the free throw line. He also led the NBA in attempts and makes. That's extraordinary.
Right.
I keep saying that's why they're called free throws.
Right.
He is making his free throws. So I have to leap to the conclusion that on Sunday, if you give him, I don't know, 15 more free throws, he's going to make 14 of them, right?
Right.
Because he just does. And again, could he have made all 3 to tie the game at the end? I don't know.
Well, he should have been afforded that opportunity.
He should have been afforded. That's all I care about. So Daryl Morey continues to fire back, and I'm not sure it's the perfect strategy for the head of operations, your CEO, your GM, to continue to fire back with subtle Twitter shots, because I think Daryl's pretty full of himself.
Yeah, well, he is. But Steve Curry is too now.
Okay, but Daryl Morey tweets a Bleacher Report story about Steve Kerr losing it back in 2016. Back in 2016, in game number 11, that would be Kevin Durant's first season with Golden State.
Right.
They were playing Toronto, an Eastern Conference team, in a game that mattered to nobody except them. And listen, Steve Kerr is far more capable of going completely psycho over calls, going over the edge than Mike D'Antoni. In fact, I don't think D'Antoni complains enough during the game. We saw him screaming after the buzzer the other day, but he won't really complain after games in the press conference settings. He'll always say, well, I want to save my money and give it to my charity. You know, like it's kind of milquetoasty complaints. But
and plus he needed for mints. All the mints he'd be going through on the sidelines.
Really?
So yeah, he get fined. That's mint.
Sure they aren't Tums?
Oh, they might be Tums. I know he be chewing on something.
He's chewing on something.
That's a lot of Tums.
But Daryl Morey is taking some weird random shot back at Steve Kerr, and it's deserved. I get that. So then Steve Kerr has to open his little session by flopping into Ann Killian of the San Francisco Chronicle. Oh, like I'm going to, you know, it's all fun and games. It's all la-di-da, happy days are here again. Well, it's easy to be all jokey when you won game one.
Exactly.
Right?
And you would think, Skip, of all people, they benefited twice, as you mentioned yesterday. Hold on. Zaza slid his foot up under Kawhi.
That started it all.
That changed the rule. So they changed the rule because, the guy's going up. He's looking at the basketball. He's not looking, let me see where his foot is so I can spread my legs or put one foot behind the other when I come down. They changed the rule. Okay, they changed the rule, and they still get the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. They changed it because of Golden State, and then they didn't call Golden State. They didn't hold their feet to the fire on the new rule in a huge game one. And again, the reason I don't love Houston's chances tonight is I don't think Steph and Klay will combine to make only 5 threes tonight. That's the key at Oracle, is if they get off hot, if they each make 5 threes, 10 total, or more, both of them are capable of far more,
well, you got to
then you're going to be in big, big trouble.
Well, here's the thing. This is what I believe. I believe that James Harden and KD will play to a push in most of the games. Okay, now you go down. You got Eric Gordon. You got CP3. Can they play Steph and Klay to a push? Now it comes down to auxiliary guys, Skip. Now it comes down to Capella. It comes down to P.J. Tucker. It comes down to a Gerald Green. See, I believe Houston has the advantage on the bench. Now that you've taken Iggy off the bench, Golden State bench is not what it used to be, Skip.
No.
They used to could expand on the lead or clip into a lead. But they can no longer do that. So now your auxiliary guys, because your big three should be able to play to a push. Gordon, CP3, you got Klay and Steph. James Harden and KD, you're gonna do what you're gonna do. Now, okay, Capella, you told me that after the victory, you wanted the Warriors. Well, do you want more than 6 rebounds and 4 points? Because that's what I'm gonna need.
Is he healthy?
Ain't got nothing to do
After
with
he
it.
had 2 viruses last week?
Well, he should be immune to the virus by now. He had it that many times. But you told me if somebody out there on the court, Jetty, remember Skip say, if he out there on the court, he on the field,
No,
what?
I didn't say that. The Hall of Famers said that.
I was like, wait.
But you repeated it.
Oh,
so if you repeat what I say, that means you believe it.
Hey, if LeBron James is on that court,
You know what, see?
no excuses.
Oh, but Capella can have an excuse. He had a virus.
I don't know. He just didn't look like himself. LeBron didn't look like himself either.
You know what? LeBron was injured.
LeBron's just old, but Capella's not old.
Okay, but he said, I want the Warriors because of what happened last year. Okay, you got him.
Okay.
So I'm going to need 15 and 15.
Well, you would think if they're not going to play Bogut, that you could argue that's advantage Houston.
Yeah,
right? Shouldn't
he needs to punish the Warriors on the glass.
Yeah.
Because if you can't punish them with that
or
small
on the lob plays, you know, that's where he punishes most teams.
But if you can't punish him on the glass, you can't beat him.
No.
You got to punish Draymond on the glass.
Yeah.
Because we know, look, he's not an offensive guy. He's a putback, like you mentioned, a lob guy. That's what he is. You can't run. You don't run plays for Capella, dump it down to him and says, okay, back to the basket. No. Okay, drop step or throw the baby hook or something. That's not what he is. But he needs more than 6 rebounds. That's what he needs to be.
Yeah, I agree.
And Tucker got to hit a couple of those corner threes. Now, he's very good from the corner, but he needs to knock a couple of those down.
Just have a bad feeling for Houston for tonight.
I got a good
They
feeling.
had their opportunity in game 1. That was the game to take, where you take control of this series and you make Golden State play uphill the rest of the way. Now Golden State is fat and happy.
That's what we want them.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, I'm just afraid. Listen, Kevin Durant has taken it up a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I'm going to go Golden State, 110 to 100.
Well,
I hope I'm wrong.
I need you to go ahead and get. You said 110? What, 5.5?
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. I like Houston. I want Houston.
I like them too.
I hope for one time in your life you're right. For one time.
What you mean one
please
time?
be right. Just one time be right on this show.
I've been right all the time.
I need you to be right tonight.
How many Super Bowls have the Cowboys won since we started this show? Well, I've been right a lot.
Oh, is that your prediction that they're not going to win the Super Bowl?
No, you're not.
2016 and 2017? Boy, that's going out on a limb.
19, 20, 21.
But careful.
22.
Now you're getting the
maybe when the Olympics come to L.A., maybe the Olympics come, the Cowboys.
By 22, they will have won 2 more. Seriously.
I
give them a real shot this year.
What?
I just don't think they can beat Brady.
Well, yeah, you should vaccinate. Everybody vaccinate.
They'll be in.
That's
this
the only
one,
shot y'all go get.
They can't beat
a
Brady.
vaccination.
Huh?
That's the only shot y'all get. I'm not winning no Super Bowl. Stop that. You got people out there like.
You can't go to 2022.
You got 2028.
2028. Oh, sorry.
Olympics come to town.
Excuse me.
You'll be happy. We go to the Olympics, and we could possibly catch the Cowboys.
You're going to compete?
No.
Okay.
I just want to go watch. That's on my bucket list.
For that.
Isn't that on your bucket list?
Super Bowl, Miami next
That's
year.
your bucket
It's a Fox event.
No way.
Fox.
If
live on Fox.
I just want you to know, Skip,
Hey, the Cowboys live on Fox.
They do.
The Cowboys, America's team is Fox's team.
That would be special.
Well, I'm going to have to miss that week if the Cowboys in the Super Bowl.
Really?
Okay, we'll find a replacement. Is Jimmy Butler now the key for the Sixers? We'll discuss that next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports Channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.